Welcome. My name's Jackie from Jackie's Golden Heart Healings, and I have heaps of information to share with you today. So settle on in, sit back, and let's get going. So, first up, full moon in September, Pisces eclipse energy. Here we go. Eclipses usually mean the earth, the history of earth as we know it goes through upheaval in weather patterns, but also with people, with uprisings. And so it is more important than ever before to ground ourselves, to bring us down daily into our stability, our own groundedness, and our own values, our own morals, and beating to our own heartbeat, our own drum. So an eclipse, what does that mean? We have 2 eclipse seasons per year. Normally they start on a full moon and they end on a new moon, giving us a 2-week window that is really high vibrational energy. And because an eclipse is a shadow over the moon, it means that it can bring up the shadow within you. So an eclipse, a solar eclipse, is when the earth passes between the sun and the moon. And a lunar eclipse, I might have it the wrong way around though, a lunar eclipse is when the moon passes through the sun and the earth, casting a shadow. So what does shadow mean? Shadow means those unhealed parts within you. Shadow means shining a spotlight on the areas in your life that you haven't actually quite got to yet. You're avoiding, you're procrastinating, you're throwing under the carpet. It is a time where everything, well, not everything at once, don't go and interfere that all your past stuff's going to come out of the closet. But by using the tools available to you, by using the seasons and the planets like I've been talking about, you can actually heal and clear and transmute things and emotions and people in your life with ease and grace. So it is my advice that you do reflect on where you're at right now, and whatever is coming up for you is ready to be transmuted and healed once and for all. We can't take those low vibrational emotions with us. The judgments, the unforgiveness, the anger, even the worry. We need to release it all, and here are the opportunities for us to do it. And right on the back of an eclipse, we've got an equinox 5 days later. How does it get any better than that? Equinoxes, it's usually when the sun's at its highest point above the earth or below, whatever hemisphere you're at. The northern hemisphere are going into hibernation with autumn and winter. The southern hemisphere, we're going into spring and summer. So for us, it's a beautiful time. It's a time to spring clean. And with this eclipse energy and equinox energy, wow, powerful, powerful times to quantum leap through your old stuff. So spring clean, sow new seeds, watering them with love, which means being mindful of your thoughts, what you're putting out there, dreaming big. What do you want in your future? How does it look? All those good feeling stuff, things that we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks. Which brings me to thoughts. You know I talk a lot about this, but it is so important, and especially to the ones that aren't aware of your thoughts. I had a realization the other day. Lately I've been seeing a lot of elderly people been massaging them in their homes, and it is a privilege to be looking after the elderly. They are our wise ones. However, the theme that I've noticed of late, and it's not just from the elderly, it's from many walks of life, is the doom and gloom in the world, the youth of today, how disrespectful they are, how they're causing all the problems. You know, they are the ones that is why we're like this and there's no future and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So thoughts, actions, what we can do, and it might not even be about the youth, but it is an example. If you want to keep your frequency in a high vibration, what you do is you do not engage. Even though you might, at the back of your mind, be thinking the same kind of thing, do not engage with this conversation. You can listen, but don't play the game of tennis, backwards and forwards, because what that is doing, it's creating energy. And then that energy goes out as a negative spark into the world. And if you're doing it in the eclipse energy and the equinox energy and all these planet lineups, then you're magnifying the problems. What you could do is that you could interject with a positive thing that you've heard about a youth, or put in some feel-good somethings into that conversation. Now, I did it with this lady and she stopped one particular client and she thought about it, and it kind of changed her course and we started talking about something else. I didn't have to tell her off. I didn't have to say I don't want to talk about this. I just was me and my high frequency, and that bounced off to her. Another example, a client who is very low and depressed right now, and I went to her house and her TV was blaring in the background, and it just had doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom, negative news, on and on and on the mainstream news. And you could hardly hear her talking. So as I listened, I said to her, perhaps you could turn the TV off, and perhaps that might help you feel better, because all there is on the news these days is just negative stuff that doesn't make us feel good. And she looked at me as if I had horns, I tell you. Like, I don't know if she'd ever heard that concept before. And I just smiled. It changed the subject instantly. But also what I've done is I've planted a seed for her. Now, she might not get it today, but somewhere down the track, our words resonate and flicks somebody on. And sometimes that's all they're waiting for. Now, they might turn around and in a different circumstance blame you or shame you or whatever because they don't want to hear the message. But it's up to us that we're just the messenger, and that we can let that go, because that's their perspective on the world or whatever it is. And we can walk away feeling like we've done the right thing from our heart and from compassion, so long as you're coming from this space. Your words of wisdom will resonate where they are meant to, and you could be the catalyst of somebody else's change. So youth, the youth of today, I tell you, and yes, some of it does look ugly out there, but I'm going to ask you this question. Where did they get their patterns and conditions from? Who molded them into their behaviours that they are throwing out there right now? Now, I'm not in any blame of parents or families or anything like that, because I, for one, raised 3 boys on my own, and I know the difficulties. And sometimes I wish if I could go back, I would have definitely done things differently, with definitely another toolkit of wisdom to offer them. But hey, we do what we do with the tools that we've got at the time. But what I'm saying is they are molded from society, from a young, very young age, or from birth. They are like this beautiful spark of light. Everyone loves the smile of a baby, and their joy and their laughing and their fun and their happiness. And what happens is, as they go through life, through schools, societies, people around them, family members, whatever it is, their little light starts to become dim. And we don't teach them the tools of how to stay spiritually clean and clear with clarity and groundedness and all those good things. So their light starts to become dim, and their little light bulb starts to get dust and dirt, where some of the light is hardly shining through. And then we see this in our teenagers, where they're just numbly going through life. I'll talk about indigos and rainbows and crystal children in a minute. But the average child gets dumbed down, dulled down, so they can't be their true, beautiful, powerful, divine sparks of light that they were born to be on this earth. And then in schools, they're told, what do you want to do in the future? So they're already starting to be installed with anxiety, because anxiety is about worrying about the future. And then, of course, there's all those other societal things that just compound and compound and compound on our young ones, where a lot of role models aren't there at the moment, and all sorts of things like that. So before you go and blame our youth, just take a step back and see where they have come from. See what they have had to put up with, what survival tools they've had to come up with in order for them to actually just dredge through that mud of society at the moment. And you know me, I'm not saying it's all bad. There are many, many beautiful youth that have come through and are already making a difference on planet Earth right now. So what I wanted to talk about is the very special children that are coming to planet Earth. The indigos, the crystals, the rainbows, the heart warriors. What does that mean? So hundreds and hundreds of years ago, Earth fell into a bit of a darkness, where we're now starting to come out of that darkness. And it was decided, as you must know already if you're watching me, we are not the only beings in this universe. There are so many other species on all different planets, all different races, all different shapes and sizes. Planet Earth was plundering down, and so the call was put out around the universe, and possibly other universes, of course, that who wanted to come to planet Earth to help steer her in a different direction. She needs help. She's putting out the call. Who's going to come to Earth to help? So a lot of light workers, you can call them star seeds, whatever names fit your vocabulary, so to speak, were born to people that were already a little bit enlightened or had knowledge from past lives. So what this means is that our children chose us. Now, if that doesn't resonate to you, I can imagine that you're about to switch off now, and that is perfectly fine, because we all have our own beliefs. However, for me, it resonates so deep and so true, because I see these children for who they are, and I have not been the perfect parent or grandparent, so to speak, but I'm learning and growing and realizing how much they need our guidance right now. So they came to planet Earth equipped with high frequency gifts, and a lot of them, some of them have been dampened down. The first generation in the 80s and 90s were indigos. Some of them are in their 30s and 40s now, and they are key to our new leaders on planet Earth. But first of all, the old dogma has to collapse, and that's where we're at right now. And the indigos and the crystals are realizing more and more who they truly are. They're switching on one by one with all the catastrophes going on around the earth. That's how we awaken. And they are awakening in mass. And they are rising in their soul families and their soul groups. And when the time is right, they will be stepping out with their talents and their gifts for planet Earth, because they're here for the Earth. They're here for humanity. And so some of them don't even realize at this time. But when you look at a child like a rainbow child or a crystal child, you are just drawn in by their beautiful eyes. They have little personality traits. Some don't sleep very much. Some are really, really ultra sensitive to foods. Some parents can't even feed their children because they hardly eat. And it's for a good reason. It's for us to listen to them. They don't need a lot of food. They just might need nutrients. So it's us to learn from them what it is that they require and need. If they can't sleep, there are so many tools that we can help them with. You know, little things like putting them in a bubble of light when they go to sleep and telling them about it, talking to them as if they are a little adult because they're old souls. Cutting cords, learning how to cut all the cords of the people that they've connected to throughout during the day. There's all sorts of things that we can do for these children, but first and foremost, they need us now. They need our wise words of wisdom. And that goes back to what I was talking about with the clients that I've seen this week. We don't have to say a whole pile of stuff. We don't have to get involved in all the matters of the world and what's going on and the wars and the politicians and the truthers and the whatevers. All we need to do is stay grounded in ourselves, connected into our heart, and have compassion. Have compassion for the ones that are doing no good, that are doing the crimes. I'm not saying allowing them to be. The Indigos were fire blazers. They were the ones that came to earth and would not put up with lies. They're very honest. And they are maybe the freedom fighters of the world out there right now. They are the ones that will fight for a cause, will look after somebody else's cause, will put somebody under their wing, so to speak, and they will not be controlled. A lot of them back in the day were put on Ritalin, prescription drugs, and some of them still are getting put on that now. So again, watch for the different habits that they have. They are actually magnificent, beautiful beings, but we just misread them and misunderstand them and judge them because we know no better, like I was saying about my own kids. But if you step back, you can learn so much from them. You will see a little rainbow child go up to somebody hurt on the playground and say, "Are you okay?" You will see a rainbow connect with old people and just go sit next to an elderly person and just sit and be. They are wise ones, and they are our future leaders, and they are the ones that are giving us hope for this new earth. So be mindful of the little people around you, even the teenagers, the young adults. Say your words of wisdom to them from your heart. Bring them up, help them and show them. Don't belittle them and put them down. It's not what we're about moving into this new frequency. So if you are enjoying me, please do subscribe to my newsletter. There's a link below. And in there, I'm doing a cacao ceremony on the Equinox. Yeah, bring in this new beautiful energy. It's Sunday the 22nd. I've got one at 11 o'clock and one at 3 p.m. for 2 hours. They are just magical. They open your heart to release and to receive. Cacao is the gateway to your heart. I also have made these beautiful sprays. I have a change and transformation spray to help you with the changes going on. I have an aura, I have a cleansing chakra and aura spray, and I have an anxiety and protection spray. They're all made with love. They're all charged in actually eclipses from last year as well. Equinoxes, full moons, new moons, the 4 elements. There's crystals, there are essential oils. They are powerful. So if you would like one of those, please reach out. I don't mind posting if you are in Australia or if you want to pay for the postage, they're only $15, because that's my gift to you as value. So I have a full moon free meditation also. I've got a giveaway coming up soon, and I'm in the midst of writing programs to help you change your habits, to move forward with clarity, to understand who you truly are, and to bring and draw out your gifts and talents. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you next time.